How is it going, folks? We are back yet again here on the Chanel. There is the old Bass Tracker amongst a suite of junk, and we have a little bit of a treat today. So this is an experimental video. We are giving this a shot. We've never attempted anything like this, but as you can see, I have purchased a St. Croix, or St. Croix, or however you pronounce it, wherever you're at. This dude is a PS76 MLF, 7'6" medium light power fast action SC2 graphite, 4 to 10 pound, eighth, blah blah blah, made in USA, America. And I purchased this dude brand spanking new, Premier it even says on the rod. Absolutely darn tootin' nothing wrong with it. As was labeled in the description, absolutely not a thing. Of course, bought it without a reel because I was going to purchase my own, stick it on there. And if you know anything about rods, this is a fancy rod right here. Not too bad. I think the MSRP is like 170 bucks. Pretty good. I got this dude for like 20 bucks. And of course, a normal person would be like, 20 bucks? What a deal. There's got to be something wrong with it. But not me. No, I was like, 20 bucks. This is a steal. I'm buying it right now. And so I purchased it for 20 bucks. And lo and behold, it's a two-piece rod. Except there's one slight problem here. It's not a two-piece rod. From the factory, no. This dude showed up in the box, plumb snapped in half. And that sucks. Not to mention, this is a 7'6" rod. It showed up in a 4-foot box. I should have known right then. This thing's a piece of junk. But really what that means is whoever sold it to me knew it was snapped in half and just didn't care. They didn't bother to mention that in the listing. And if that weren't enough, this guy right here, yep, there's supposed to be a little ring there. It's right here. It was broken off. So here we are, near $200 rod for $20. All messed up, snapped right there, ring broken off. It would be the perfect crappie rod. The perfect crappie rod. You could put a light little bait on it. It's 7'6". You could sling that thing all over the place. It's perfect for them. Well, it would be perfect if it was not broken. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to fix this thing. I've never tried to fix a rod before, but we're $20 sank in it, and we might as well try. What could possibly go wrong, right? I've gone to YouTube University. I know a thing or two about fixing a rod. I have no experience fixing a rod, never done it before, but we're going to give it our best darn tootin' shot. So without further ado, let's try to rescue this $20 rod and see what we get. Alright, most people use a nail to patch this kind of stuff together, but since this is broken fairly near the bottom, I'm going to use this concrete / block anchor screw thing. It's got those threads or whatever you call those on there. I'm not actually sure what you call the threads on a screw. Pretty sure they're still threads. We're going to use that thing because that guy simply does not have enough grip in the pole, versus this guy actually touches the edges of the inside of the pole. So what we're going to do is stick some super glue on the inside of this guy, shove it in the bottom side of the pole, let her set up, and then we're going to stick some super glue on the top side of this guy, and we're going to shove her in the top side of the pole, and we're going to let her set up nice and good, get this pole back in shape, and then we'll worry about the ring. Two days later. Alright, so we let our glue dry, and as you can see, it is all back apart again. So I thought my screw idea was a good idea. Turns out it is not. Since this break is on the first ring here, this pole is actually quite a large opening there, and the screw was kind of loose in there. I basically just tried to fill in all the loose space with super glue, That didn't turn out so good. But, of course, give me some time. I'll come up with a solution. And there it is right there. Thankfully, because I used to be a cheap guy, I used to buy a lot of Chinesium drill bits, which get dull super fast, and most of them are already broken. This is one of the few stragglers, as you can see by the rust here. Quite old. And this dude fits beautifully in the rod, like such. So what we're going to end up doing is using this drill bit that's perfectly matched to the hole. That hopefully will provide a lot more support, and when I give her the old whip test this time, she won't break all apart. I also clean cut the edge and polished it flat with the cutoff wheel, same on both sides. So hopefully that means they will conjoin a little bit better. Alright, so I got her all glued back together. She is pretty strong. I haven't given her the full shake test yet, but she feels pretty good. So now we move on to the old next step. Got this here fishing line that I'm probably not going to use. We're going to tie a knot somewhere down here and then spin her around in a spiral, go up through the repair to the other side, tie it off there, glue it down, and see if that acts like a rebar type of some kind of reinforcement. Let's see how it turns out. Alrighty, moving right along, we are up to this next ring. This is the second ring up. And this is actually where I have my real concerns, because normally when you have this ring, this is kind of hard to explain. Normally when one of these guys comes off, you have a piece that comes down here about ½ inch or 3/4 of an inch or so. You could take some line, spin it around there, super glue it, epoxy, whatever you like to do, and get that dude secured back down. In my case though, this dude snapped right off at the 90 or so, where she turns back down on the pole here. So I basically just super glued this guy barely on there. That will snap off at any moment. So what I'm going to try to do is make a whole mamma jamma of a mess right there out of fishing line and build up some support this direction to get maybe a 1/4 inch up here. Glue it to that, and hopefully she will hold. Cannot guarantee it, but it's got to be better than getting about a 1/1000th of an inch surface area glued down there. So we'll give that a shot. If that does not work, I will just buy a whole new ring thingy. Hopefully they're like 15 cents, or I'm wasting my darn money. We'll go from there. Alrighty, we are back again after letting them dry overnight, and they look super ugly. But that's alright. I didn't really take my time and get a smooth pattern, which you could definitely do if you were interested in your stuff looking all neat and fancy and such. I'm more concerned with how it works, and so I just made sure to put a lot of support where it needed it. So if we pick this guy up, definitely feels solid. When I had that screw in there and I did the old shake test, I could actually feel it cracking the super glue off the screw. So this one, I don't feel that at all. It's a lot more solid. I got a Shakespeare, just a crappy reel I had on here just so it feels a little bit more like what it'll actually feel like. Bought this thing at a gas station for like $7, and it's caught a handful of walleye, so wasn't a bad purchase. And this ring up here too, it's holding steady. The true test will be when I actually get some line on it and sling it out there, but for now it's pretty solid. The one thing I will say about using the drill bit in here and not cutting it down instead of something a little shorter that you maybe cut down, this used to be a medium light pole, and now it feels a lot more like a medium, because this bottom half doesn't really bend quite like it did before. What it's kind of turned into is like a composite type deal where you got a stiffer bottom but then still a light tip. It might be nice for crappie, but only time will tell. So there you have it. That's how I fixed my almost $200 fishing pole that I bought for 20 bucks or however much because it was broken. Thanks for watching. If you want to see me take this thing out on the lake sometime and try to catch something with it, just give me a follow. And I'll see you in the next one.